You have so many choices on YouTube. The Epic Light Media is an exclusive channel for family and friends. Even if you enjoy their videos, please don't subscribe. They don't need any more subscribers. If, on the other hand, you don't like their videos, please give them a big thumbs down and leave them a vicious, nasty comment. For those of you who have already made the mistake of subscribing, unsubscribe. Ooh, a new video! This is what I've been waiting for. Instead of watching Epic Light Media, watch YouTubers like Peter McKinnon or Potato Jet. Your time is precious. Don't waste it here. Don't subscribe.
This is the space that we're going to be filming in today. A 30-second TV commercial needs to be easy to understand. There can't be any superfluous ideas floating around. It's all about what the person is telling you and about the product they are talking about.
Let's talk about how to achieve a bright TV commercial look like this. High-key commercial lighting is about making the subject and the space look as great as possible.
It is so important to set your shot first. Find your frame. That way you can work your lights in as close as you need to. If you don't find your frame first, you won't be using your lights to the greatest ability that you can. Look at these windows. When you're filming with bright windows, you have two choices. You can either darken the windows down.
Outside the window here, I did end up just unrolling the 0.9 ND.
Or you can light the subject so their exposure is bright enough to compete with those bright windows. So it's gonna look something like this. Michelle's going to be looking into the camera. Now, some issues that we have here are these windows are very bright, and this couch is eating Michelle.
This couch had to go. It looked comfortable, but it was way too fluffy for the shot. So we moved it out of the space, cleaned up a little bit, and brought it a nice mid-century modern couch. And the shot was already looking better.
Coco, you just want to be...
Are you rolling this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she will not. Move!
Next, on camera right, we added a large soft key light, and then we gave Michelle a nice warm hair light. On camera left, we added a bounce to bring the exposure up on the left side of Michelle's face. Finally, in the background, we added an accent light to make it look like the sun was streaming through the windows. And here is a cute little drawing I made of the whole setup. Pretty cool, huh?
I needed to take a moment and talk to you about the camera we used to film that little commercial that I'm sure you enjoyed. We used the Blackmagic Design Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2, which right now is our favorite camera for a few reasons. The dynamic range, the color, the way it responds to skin, I like it. I like it a lot. And this isn't a spec thing. This is a gut thing. But also, what's so great about this camera is it records in a very high resolution, 4.6K. And a lot of people would say, why are you even filming in 4.6K? You output in HD. And we do. When we send our videos to our clients, normally they're just HD. This is why we like to film in 4K. Because we can crop in a tremendous amount and it still looks great. So with the ad you just watched, we're wide on Michelle at 50 millimeters, and then we zoomed in more than 150%, and it still looks sharp. This key light is coming from camera right for a reason, and that is because we have this big wall of windows, and it's very important to remember with lighting to not work against the natural lighting in a room, but embrace it and improve upon it. So, because I wanted more light coming through these windows, we put the key light on the side of the windows. If we would have put the key light on the other side, we would have had competing window light and key light, and it wouldn't have been as dynamic, nor would it have looked as natural. This is a very interesting key light setup. And the reason why we have 3 lights blasting through a giant umbrella is because we needed as much light as possible. At first, we thought maybe 1 light would be enough, and then 2, and then we put our 3rd light behind it, and it still wasn't enough. This giant
umbrella. It's so fast to put up and it's so easy to use. We absolutely love this big soft umbrella. As you can see, it would have been a lot harsher and not as pleasing. So that is why we're using this big soft umbrella. I don't really see other people using big umbrellas like this. It's more of a photography thing, but hey, in the age of LED lights, this works great.
You have so many choices on YouTube. The Epic Light Media is an exclusive channel for family and friends. Even if you enjoy their videos, please don't subscribe. They don't need any more subscribers. If, on the other hand, you don't like their videos, please give them a big thumbs down and leave them a vicious, nasty comment. For those of you who have already made the mistake of subscribing, unsubscribe. Ooh, a new video! This is what I've been waiting for. Instead of watching Epic Light Media, watch YouTubers like Peter McKinnon or Potato Jet. Your time is precious. Don't waste it here. Don't subscribe.
This backlight is set to a tungsten color. And the reason why we did that is because we have a lamp here. And the reason why we put the lamp there was because we wanted to have a tungsten colored light behind her because it looks great with her hair. So that requires some planning. We planned to have this lamp behind her so that we could cheat and have this tungsten light. And to the audience, to the viewer, it looks like the light from this lamp is hitting the back of her hair, but that's not what it's doing. It's not bright enough to have any effect on her hair. This is what's illuminating the back of her hair. What we're doing here is we're using practical lights in the room and using our lights to amplify that.
When we're lighting a scene, we light the scene brighter than we need. So the ad that you saw was filmed at a T2, and we put 2 stops of ND behind the lens. So some of the shots for Michelle, we filmed at 100 millimeters. The bokeh becomes more distinct. We've done a lot of tests on this. When you zoom in, it's not like zooming in post. It's very different. Optically, the bokeh increases and it gets bigger. So for some of the shots with Michelle, we filmed at a 50 and then zoomed into 100 for the close-up. And what I did is I took off the ND filters and filmed it at a T4, almost a T5.6, to get the equivalent bokeh so that the shots would match. So just a tip for you guys. Light brighter than you need to, use ND filters, and then when you go in for the close-up, take those ND filters off and close up that aperture for the tighter shots. Another reason why you want to do this is because when you have too shallow of a depth of field, the nose is in focus or the eyes, but not the ears, and it falls off too much. When you close down that aperture, you can get the whole face in focus and it looks better. This camera, the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2, films in 4.6K resolution. This camera from Blackmagic, the Pocket 4K camera, films in UHD, 3840 by 2160. This, the Arri Alexa, films in 2K HD. And this camera, the Canon C200, films in UHD. Now, when we first bought this camera, the Canon C200, we decided on one of the ads that we filmed to crop in. I think we had filmed it at 35 millimeter and we wanted to, for part of it, crop in post. Because we filmed in 4K, we thought, oh, that'll be fine. You know? And we do that all the time on this camera. Not so good with this camera. We had sharp focus, filmed in UHD, and when we cropped in, the shot wasn't sharp enough. I like Canon. I think they're great. But Canon, your UHD is just as sharp as Alexa's 2K. In fact, I can crop in digitally in post on the Alexa's 2K, and it's sharp still.
I'm a little creeped out that you're still here. What are you doing? Don't you have better things to do? Go. Shoo. Really?